My name's Karen Elliot. I am the Executive Director for the Rafiki Foundation, and I've been serving with Rafiki for almost 25 years now.
And what does the Rafiki Foundation do?
Well, Rafiki is a Swahili word. It means friend, and we're a friend to Africans. And we now work in 10 countries in Africa. And in each of those 10 countries, we build a Rafiki village on 50 acres of land in each of the 10 countries. And we have two goals. We want to help Africans know God, and we also want to help them raise their standard of living. And so we do that with about 5 programs that we implement within those 10 villages. We have a children's home at each village, which is an orphanage for up to 100 children. We have schools for those children, as well as children from the community, typically poor, impoverished children from the community who come to our schools. They're good Christian classical schools for these children. We also have what we call a widows program, where the women in the church already make wonderful crafts, like some of the things I'm wearing right here, beautiful products that we market here, both at a store here at our home office up here in Eustis, and also we have a small store in Mount Dora for shopping. So Christmas is coming. Anyway, so we also have a Bible study and an education outreach. We are helping Africans to establish new schools. Nancy and David, her husband, were missionaries with us for about 14 years. And I would say both of them are incredibly selfless Christians, of course. We as Christians ought to be that way, and they certainly exemplified that. Humble and hardworking folks. Nancy, in particular, served as our child care director of the orphanage that we have in Lusaka, Zambia. We have a village there, and so David oversaw the day-to-day operations of the village, and she ran the orphanage. Very hardworking. She also always had some interest in medical things, so she got some additional first aid, medical training. She was excellent at running things, worked well with the Africans, and just loved the children there. So that's what she and David did for us for the last 8 of their 14 years of service. But when the Ebola outbreak happened, I do believe, from what I've read and understood, is that Nancy started helping with the doctors as they would go in and out of the decontamination room. And Nancy, knowing her and being as selfless as she is, I think she was working long, long hours and didn't care, because she really loves and wanted to care for the people of Liberia, which is what missionaries do. They love the people, and they want to exemplify the life of Christ to them. So
she had an opportunity to come home.
Mm-hmm. That's what we heard. She and David both had that opportunity and decided not to. They wanted to stay and serve, which is the same thing our own missionaries are doing right now. We have 4 missionaries in Liberia right now, Rafiki does, at our own village in Monrovia. And they have all, we want to stay, we want to serve, we trust the Lord. We first heard about this, I got an email on Sunday a week ago we had a doctor there in Liberia with our own children doing some treatments, that Nancy Writebol had Ebola. And it was stunning to me. And we immediately sent out a notice to all of our Rafiki villages so everybody could start praying. And our home office, we started praying here. I wrote David to tell him we were praying for them, and we were shocked. So, because we know what it can mean. It's a 90% maximum, death rate. Now it's about 50 to 60% right now, which is good, but still it's not that good. So anyway, we were thrilled to hear that Nancy and Kent both were able to get back to the States for much better treatment than they would be able to get in Liberia at this point. Yeah, and I don't really begrudge anyone being concerned about it. It's because it is a deadly disease and people aren't familiar with it. But on the other hand, when missionaries go out, we expect difficulties. This is what you sign up for, all right? And because you're thankful for what the Lord has done for you, you go forward. And so God uses things like this for good, right? And so we believe that He will use this for good in their own lives personally, in the countries, because now there is a huge outpouring of resources to help the WHO, the CDC, the World Bank. They're investing lots of money to help curb this disease, and perhaps a cure or vaccine will be discovered. So we see God using this for good in that way. And the thing you can be doing, though, is to continue to pray. We're praying here daily for for the people of Liberia and Ghana, and well, Ghana doesn't have it yet. Liberia, Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Nigeria. And pray for the leadership of those countries because they have a huge burden with limited resources. And pray for Nancy and Kent for their healing.
Is this going to stop you from doing what you're doing over there? Does this scare you?
Absolutely not. Because this is the reason why we are there. To help serve, to, model Christ's love to others, help them come to know God. And so we're not going to stop doing this. Why would we?